you credit. And number one in entrepreneurship, and I just want to go through these awards. U.S. News and World Report, number one MBA program, 18 consecutive years. The Princeton Review, number one MBA program, 3 consecutive years. Took them a while to get on the bandwagon. And Financial Times, number one MBA program worldwide, 2 consecutive years. So, I mean, really, kudos to you and to the whole program. And you must tell us, what is there a secret sauce to what you're doing?
Thanks for those wishes. Actually, it's a collective effort, as you know. We have a wonderful group of faculty and staff who work extraordinarily hard to deliver just wonderful courses to our students. But I think the secret sauce, as you pointed out in your introduction, is there's a group of students who come into Babson who really want to learn. They have this great desire to start businesses of, as we say, they are opportunity driven. They are taught by folks like you to create their own opportunities, and they go out and make a difference in the world.
Now, when you were talking to me before, and Professor Raghu said to me, "Do you like the students?" And I said to him, I've been consulting for 35 years, and for the most part, entrepreneurs are sort of learning impaired. There's a lot of resistance to what they want to learn. And a lot of the students at Babson, they're not students, they are entrepreneurs. They own businesses when they get to Babson. They're very successful, they're very ambitious people. But I'm not used to being in a room with so many eager minds, people who just want to take it to the next level. There's not enough information that you can give them.
Absolutely, and one of the interesting things is in today's day and world, we find that in addition to students who want to start their own businesses, of which there are many of them want to start businesses but not right away. Right. They want to get some experience, they want to work for 8 or 10 years, maybe pay off those student loans and learn something more about the industry.
Or build up some capital.
Pay off mom and dad.
Exactly, all of those. But so they want to go into companies, and when you think of large companies that have survived and prospered year after year, these companies are pretty entrepreneurial too.
Right.
And so the nice thing is to see this mix of students. And I think going back to something I said earlier, if there's one thing in common, it is that these students want to make a difference.
Raghu, we've had entrepreneurs who are still students at Babson, and I believe it was Scott last week.
He's
got 3 companies, and he's still finishing his master's program.
He has an event planning kit that he's selling, and you might know who it is. And he also has this Jewish board game, and he's selling both of them. And he's looking into starting a 3rd business or a 4th business. He said before he's finished at Babson.
Yeah.
He can't wait to graduate because now Babson, I think, is getting in the way.
But we've had a lot of alum too. But we've actually had students on that are entrepreneurs, which I find interesting.
Well, and it's I think this distinguishes Babson in that the students who come in with a definite idea of what they want to do. Many of them want to be entrepreneurs, and so to the extent that Babson helps them, it is really gives them some focus, gives them some understanding, and Babson is a collection of many faculty and staff members, most of whom have experience in this field, like yourself.
Well, that's why Babson is a little bit different. I wouldn't expect to be recruited by a lot of universities out there, but Babson was interested in me, and I still can't figure out if they were smart or not smart in picking me, but they wanted someone with experience.
Yeah, exactly. So in that respect, yes, they were smart, and you were smart to get to Babson.
But one of the things that I find interesting about Babson, because my class is filled with entrepreneurs, is that I don't always know who the student is in the class, because I'm learning from them. I bring the cases in, I facilitate the discussion, but I feel like I'm sitting in a great conference room with a great executive team that's sitting there giving me a lot of good ideas that we have to put up on the board. They're clearly very intelligent people.
Yes, and I'm sure the students, when they hear this, will feel very happy to hear you say that. And on their behalf, thank you. But when we interview students for admission to Babson, one of the questions we keep asking them is, tell us what you mean by this notion of entrepreneurial thought and action. What does it mean to you? How are you going to use it? And we actually give them 3 minutes, and we tell them there's a group of 20 other applicants. So stand in front of them and give them your 3-minute rocket pitch.
Right.
And so these students are standing there and they have to come up with a response, and it's you can see them thinking very fast, clearly on their feet, and you are able to determine very quickly who has a good sense of what it means and who doesn't.
Now you weren't always you're not from the Boston area. You came to Babson from another area, correct?
Yes, I came here from Cincinnati.
Why did you make the move?
It's a good question. I was minding my own business and actually pretty content in my job. And then a colleague of mine who's in the marketing division with whom I went to graduate school contacted me about this opening and sent me actually Len's first draft of his vision for Babson. And when I finished reading it, Len's Lessinger, and when I finished reading it, I was hooked.
And what year was this?